Today I'm in Pall Mall, Tennessee at the Sergeant Alvin C. York State Historic Park, and our first stop is going to be at the Visitor Center. And the Visitor Center is actually like a museum and visitor center that was in Alvin's old store. And here's a picture of when we went inside. You can see that what it looked like in 2017. A picture of the store approximately 1940, and then what it looked like in 1990s before it was restored. Couple of things in this display case I think you might find interesting, and I'll give you a close-up of what the cards say concerning them. And one of them is this rifle here. You'll be able to see it through the glass stuff. And the next one is this Bible. Zoom in so you can tell about that. There's the pictures here. Let me show you a couple of them, but the glare may be bad on it. I can get you a good picture of Alvin's mom here.
It begins here in the valley of the Three Forks of the Wolf River, not far from where you are sitting now. Alvin York was born to William and Mary York in a small cabin at the foot of a hillside.
This gives you an idea what kind of chairs they would have had, the cane chairs, and they might have even played checkers with bottle tops. A couple of pictures over here I'm going to take a look at too and show you close up. Around a potbelly stove in this store. I'm not going to read you all these stories, but if you're interested, pause them. We'll show you a couple of pictures here up close. We're going to go over to the mill in just a moment. Well, I wanted to show you this house here, and that is the visitor center I just left. That once was Alvin and his son's general store. But this, the park ranger told me, was once the home. It's been restored now, of course, for Alvin's son, Alvin York Jr. Here's the barns I showed you earlier that's on Alvin's land, and of course this is the house that the state of Tennessee had built for Alvin and Gracie after they married. And we're going to get up a little closer to that so you can get a better view of it. I'm not going to tour it inside today as I've toured it before, and I was very honored to get the tour done by Alvin's son, Andrew Jackson York. I'm going to try to give you a little bit better view here of Alvin's house at the front. And we will drive over. There's a statue over there, and I want to make sure I get that in the video. So let's get back in the truck and head on over. And I don't know if this was actually used on Alvin's farm or not. There's no sign down here to tell me anything about this tractor, but I thought I would show it to you because it is a very old tractor, and it looks like they have been trying to refinish it. Now that I've come over to the house and to take a picture or video of this statue here of Alvin York, you're going to get to see the side view of the house too. And it shows Alvin as a military uniform there with a couple of medals on him. While we're here at the house, I want to mention a couple of things that about Alvin York that the park rangers, when I went on inside, there was 3 additional ones, so I saw 4 park rangers in there, and asked them what would they suggest too, the other 3 that I hadn't already asked, something about Alvin. And one of them said that he was a public figure or promoter for the rest of his life, even after the war. And one of them said that they admired him because he wanted the best for this community, and he had seen nice things and different things in France and in New York City, and so he wanted that for the best here at Pall Mall and for Jamestown. And so they said he was the first to actually get electricity here in the area. And then another one said they'd like to add that he was important too in having the roads through here and all, so the children would be able to go to school. So he spent the rest of his life being dedicated to the public, or bettering, I should say, his community and all. And now to see the church where Alvin attended. Well, as you can see, this is bottomland, and that was very important to Alvin. And Wolf River was also important to have water, of course, for crops and things, or fishing or whatever. And it played a big part in the movie, if you've watched it at all, talking about Wolf River in the movie Sergeant York. I want to show you where I'm at next, and it's about 2 miles up the road. I think the park ranger said it was about 2 miles up from Alvin's house, and this is where Alvin and Gracie went to church at. And of course it's been more modernized, I'm sure, with nice brick and everything on it since Alvin's day. And I'm not sure about the house next door, but it may be the preacher's house, or it may be privately owned. And Alvin tried to be a conscientious objector to the war, and I did read where I think he tried to file 3 different times and they wouldn't recognize the church. And he still ended up being in the war. They're having a birthday party down here close to the grist mill. And this grist mill was owned by Alvin York and his family. And just want to show you this sign here. And it says, the first known European to set foot in the valley, Daniel Boone, was a renowned hunter and scout. I'll give you a little bit closer view in a moment, but just kind of wanted you to see the back. And they got some nice water that looks like some of the children are playing in down there. So let's take a look close to that, then we'll go on inside. This is the foundation of the park story, and as you can see, there's some different things here to talk about. Each one of them. As I said, so it shows Andrew Jackson York here. And since he was here from 1972 to 2013, so my first visit here was many years ago. Love this view here, the side of the grist mill along with all the water coming down. Now let's head on into the grist mill here and see, because the door is open and the light's on. I won't talk a lot about the machinery and all in here because I don't know a lot about grist mills, the workings of them I should say, but I'm going to give you a thing of the sign up here, and maybe you want to pause it and look at it of the York grist mill a little closer and learn something about the grist mill. Oh yeah, here tells you how a grist mill works. And in 1943, that says it's when Sergeant York purchased this grist mill from the Powell family. And they do have an upstairs, but I've been there a couple of times before, so not a whole lot up there to see. The young man just came up and pushed the button, so it's talking about the park service and this grist mill and all. Just wanted to show you just how close Alvin's house is to where the grist mill is. And there you have it. Or to spot Alvin's grave down here with a fence around it and a cross and other things. But we're going to take a closer look at it, and also some of his family members don't know that we'll find all his children's graves in here. Trying to stop close enough that maybe you can read each one of these. And on the other side of the sidewalk is a thing for Sergeant York, talking about him and man of faith. So let's look at that. We're going to get back on the trail that leads to the grave, and we will look at that. But I'm going to show you the 2 graves that are right next to Alvin and Gracie's here. And it says she's the wife of Thomas. And Thomas Jefferson was one of Alvin's children. But we're mainly here to see Alvin and Gracie's grave, so let's take a look at that. And it says this was a project in 2018. I'm going to insert a picture here to tell you how this monument came about. I decided to open the gate so I could get a little closer to the markers because they're flat on the ground, besides the two giant ones of an angel and a cross that's at the top. But we'll start with the ladies first. And I'm going to walk down in between the two graves here so you can get a good picture of Gracie that's on here. And she was married to Alvin, of course. And it tells that she was the mother of 10 children. And she's got a verse there on it. So now, I think they may have done this in honor of veterans. The wreath, but not sure. Well, I wanted to remove the stick so you could get a better look at what all is on it and show you the picture they chose to put in on Alvin's marker. And on top of that, it also has a marker that is showing that he was a veteran. And if you'll notice the born and dates on Gracie's and his, that they were 3 years difference in their age. So Alvin was 3 years older. So let's go see if we can find any more of the family members before we leave the cemetery. And Alvin was probably the most famous soldier of World War I. And he was very decorated. Thought I would show you that I did close the gate, and there's several more Yorks down through there, and we're going to take a look at those to see if we recognize him as some of his children's name. And as you recognize, that first one I showed you of his children was Thomas Jefferson and Andrew Jackson. So can you imagine and realize that Alvin was very patriotic by naming his children all the names he's got. And of course, here's a picture of Andrew Jackson York with his wife, Helen. And here is Andrew in his park ranger uniform. Well, this next one that's on the other side of Gracie's marker, and like I showed you first, Thomas Jefferson was over on the side over by Alvin. On this side was another one of their sons, Alvin York Jr. And I'm not sure about these two. I'll have to look and check to see if that's one of the children. And these 2 or 3 here, we're going to go around to the other side, see if they've got something on it to identify them. quite a few Yorks buried in this cemetery, and I'm sure probably most of them are kin to Alvin in some way. If I don't list up above the picture who they are, it's because I couldn't find out any detail at what relation they were to Alvin. Now, I do recognize this one down here as Alvin's little daughter that died. It's the same date for the birth and death date on it, but I will give you a closer. And it just says our darling, it's an infant daughter. It doesn't even have a name for it. A couple more of Yorks in the cemetery, but not sure which one is related to Alvin or not. And we may take a closer walk down to the church here in just a second. So Pastor Pyle in the movie Sergeant York, and he really did exist, and I'm not sure exactly which one or if this is the one, but I'll try to look them up and let you know if this was any of these. And over there is an arable pile, and this is their family plot section, so I will take another picture here or two. There's a Lucinda pile. Now I've headed back up to the cemetery, and I've already showed you Andrew Jackson's grave there. But next to it is the daughter of Alvin and Gracie, and that's Betsy Ross York, and her married name was Lowry. Here's another one of Alvin and Gracie's children, Woodrow Wilson York. And there's a couple more Yorks up here that I'm going to go take a look at and see who they are. And there's one more up there that says York on it real large, and I'm going to head up that way. And there's some more down in the lower part of the cemetery that I didn't go to, but can't find all of them today, I'm sure. I do have a little trail that comes from the home, which it says it's about 6/10 of a mile up here to the cemetery if you're in a hiking mood and it's a nice cool day or anything. And a lot of steps probably to climb too through here and different places, but I mainly stopped because I wanted you to see this sign here that's across from the cemetery. And it does say that the church's appearance has changed in the last 200 years for sure. So, but it up there, and you can pause it, maybe enlarge it for a second or two. And the same down here. Before leaving, I'll try to pass by the church up here and give you a closer look at it. But this was where his dad was a faithful member of the Methodist Church. And I'm not sure if, I think Alvin went more to the Church of Christ in Christian Union church. But anyway, may want to look that up for sure. You can tell it's old enough churches. They had double doors, and one would have been for the men to go in one side and the women to go in the other side. As always, I'd like to end my video with saying thanks so very much for watching, and I hope you have a good day.